Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Dengachek. Our topic today is advice to parents. Before we talk about this topic, allow me to mention few things, and I will be brief. Uh, First, yesterday here in Australia was the 9th of July, 2021, and date 9 is my homeland Independence Day. So I'm asking you all to wish my motherland or the land a very happy Independence Day. I will appreciate if you will do that down the comment section below. Um, the second one is the video I have recorded last month regarding the rise of single mothers, single motherhood in my community, the South Sudanese community. I must admit that some people did not agree with it, which is fine. And that is the whole point of sparking the conversation, is to start the conversation and people join in. And that was the purpose of the video. To those who think or believe that I was wrong, unless if you're not in my community, then you can say that. And two, I'm not certain to how far you have gone watching the video, because if you had completed the video, you will find that I mentioned the particular group that I was addressing. I wasn't just addressing the entire single mothers in my community. That would be stupid, because uh, there are circumstances that forces people to divorce, separate, to you know become widows, and I was not in that position to address all the single mothers. So I was focusing uh, to a particular group, and I mentioned that, and I will do another video in the future. Um, and then there was uh, another video too that I recorded, and it was about the rise of uh, feminism in my community as well. All of these, I base them in my community because I don't know the circumstances in your community and how your community is dealing with the issues as such. So the reason why I was talking about the rise of feminism and why it should be remedied in my community uh, will be discussed in another video as well, because uh, as I keep mentioning, you know, these segments are quite short, you know, 10, 15 minutes. It's very difficult to condense a vast and controversial topic as such in just those minutes. You just can't do it. So that is why I say that I've started the conversation, and if you think I'm wrong, then that's why there is a comment section. Comment what you think. You don't call me to come and talk to me about how you feel. Write how you feel in the comment section below, and then others will join in. And then now we will have a very constructive debate. And this is the whole point. So my position was that South Sudan is not ready to accommodate another crisis, because feminism is a crisis, you know, and we have a lot of crises, which is not the purpose of this video. So I will discuss that. So I just quickly wanted to address those. Some people went as far as calling me misogynist. Eh? So if you don't know me in person, then I think that is your opinion, and you are entitled to that opinion. And it's not my position to change that opinion about me, because you don't know me, which is good. I don't mind it. All right. So getting back into advice to parents. Advice number one: keep the communication open with your children, particularly with uh, parents who are dealing with teenagers. The teenage age is when the hell can actually break loose, right? Because this is the age where teenagers feel like they are in control of everything in the house as well as outside. And if you are a parent who don't understand that and the destruction that can come with that, then you will throw everything that you have been working for since since you gave birth to this teenager into the like into the bin or out of the window. So this is why it's important to really create a line of open conversation with your children, a proper conversation that not only address the issues but you know point your teenagers to a direction that is healthy for them. Because what will happen is, even though you have established a proper conversation with them, and your conversation is designed to just make them listen to your points, and it's not designed to be reciprocated, then it will become very difficult for them to understand. It will drain them mentally and it will drive them crazy because at this time they feel like they've figured out the world and they feel like they're ready to face the world when in fact they are not ready. And I used to say this. I say teenagers are like the government. The government will set the rules that they fully understood that the rules are stupid, right? But they will still enforce them on public, right? They will still enforce them on the people, knowing too well that the rules are not working. The rules are stupid. The rules are against the will of the public. But guess what? They will be implemented, they will be enforced, and anybody who don't comply with the rules uh, will be fined or will be arrested and will be charged and all of this, right? Until the public say, yes, we agree. And they will start following the rules, right? So this is why I say the teenagers are like the government, all right? They will do things they know that are not acceptable, or they will do things they know will upset their parents, but regardless, they will still do them anyway. Why should they care, right? So it is your job as a parent to either give in, or you have a conversation with them, you have a dialogue with them, you sit them down and point out why you think that what they are doing is not the right thing to do, and offer them alternatives on how they should best see the world, right? So that is point number one, or advice number one. Advice number two: as a parent, keep calm in any situation. Kids or children are best known for pressing or pushing all the buttons. This is what they do. Do they do it unknowingly? To some degrees, yes, they do. If you are a person who has a very bad temper and you are easily agitated, you are easily angered, you are easily frustrated, then you will have a very difficult time with children or teenagers because things they do are designed to piss you off as a parent. And that is the goal. Once you are pissed, now you give them a very uh, open door for them to just open and just work out, right? But if you have a very calm personality, if you have a calm attitude, if you have a calm voice, it's more like an aggressive person who is very strong trying to squash a tiny, weak person, right? So this person's goal is to beat up this person so bad to display his powers over this person. But guess what? If this tiny little weak person don't respond to what this strong person was assuming or imagining he will get out of this person, he will be very, very ashamed and he will walk away. You know what that walk is called? It's a walk of shame, right? This is what teenagers or children are like. If they come with um, ideas or suggestions that don't make sense, it's not your job to directly point at them and start arguing or yelling or screaming at them, right? Yes, you are a grown person and you have a way to look at things. That is okay. But you also got to understand that these people are actually beginning their life, all right? They are beginning to experience the world and they want to experience it with their friends. They want to experience it in a way that makes sense to them, right? So the chances are they will not listen to you all the time, and that's okay. But it is your job to make sure that you calm the situation down. When the situation is getting extreme to the point where they are about to throw hands or about to slam the door right in your face or walk away or be destructive in the house, remain calm. If the situation called for it, walk away. Once you do that, they are human. Don't forget that. They will sit down and they will think of what they have done wrong, right? And if they are well mannered people, they will wait for you. And when you come back, they will apologize. This is advice number 2. Advice number 3 is assure your children there are no stupid questions or dumb questions, right? You can sort of relate to this because what happens is if you are in a conversation with another person and the person start attacking your ideas, you will become defensive and you will start defending yourself. But if you are having a very open-minded conversation where it's not a debate or argument, quarreling or whatever, but it is just a open conversation where people are just speaking to help each other understand their perspective or their position, then it's going to be a hot mess. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that make sure that your kids understand that any point, any idea, any suggestion is not a stupid or dumb. Okay, if it's not right at that particular time, make sure they understand why it's not right, and just wait. Maybe in the future, a year or two later, that idea might work well. Maybe it was set at the wrong time, or maybe it was, said prematurely, or maybe it was incomplete, right? So it is your job as a parent to make sure that you understand your kids. It is your job as a parent to make sure that your kids understand you as well. You have to have, you know, a two-way traffic, right? A two-way street where if they talk, you have to be quiet and listen. And make sure you show them that you are actually listening. To the point when you start speaking back to them, mention things they had said. And that will reassure them that yes, you had been listening. And yes, it's okay to disagree. But here is where you agree with them. And here is why you think this idea or suggestion is premature. And if they are right, that is fine to tell them, I'm sorry, right? I didn't see it the way you guys saw it, and I apologize, right? There's no shame in that. Admitting that you are wrong in front of your children will strengthen your relationship with your children. It will not destroy it. It will not damage it. It will strengthen your relationship. I promise you, this is so important. And so look at it this way too. As an adult, a person that is powerful, that you think you have no chance against him or her, and that person wronged you and come to you and say, you know what, I, I acted out of my character. So I was wrong and I apologize. How do you feel? Right? You feel great. You like you are in a position of disbelief. Wow, I cannot believe he actually did this. You know? And it will make you very happy, and it will make you respect that person even more. That is exactly the same thing with our children or teenagers, right? If you admit in front of them that you are wrong, it will make them extremely happy, and they will respect you even more because they know when you are wrong, you will apologize. And now you have actually created a culture of apologizing to one another. When they are wrong, they will apologize to you. And this is how relationship with your kids will be paramount as a parent. Be your kid's best friend. Now, what does this mean? We all know how important it is to be friendly, uh, but most importantly, to be your kid's best friend. When you are your kid's best friend, the environment and atmosphere that you have created there is absolutely healthy because your kids now will speak freely without fear of being judged, without fear of being intimidated, without fear of you know um, being shamed. This is why it's fundamentally significant to be your kid's best friends, right? Be a parent who your kids report to positively, right? And once they understand this principle of being transparent, being best friends, speaking without fear, guess what? They will tell you anything, anything in this world, right? And once that happened, you are now the winner because you will integrate their experience into yours and your experience into their experience. And you will have a very concrete conversation with your kids. And if they trust you, anything that you say, anything that you say, if your kids trust you, they will believe it. And once they believe that, they will go out to the world knowing that you have got their back. And if they come back, God forbid, anything happen, if they are wrong and you sit down with them, right? Once when they tell you what they had done, or when someone else tells you what they had done, and you sit down with them and you have a conversation with them, guess what? It will be so easy for them to understand your position and where you are coming from. The key, the key here is to make sure that both sides understand each other and you come out with a solution or alternative, as to what they should have done or what they will do in the future should that situation arise again. And remember, as a parent, okay, blaming gets you nowhere. Blaming actually destroy your kids because once they come back to you and they report an incident, if you think or you believe they were wrong, to blame them will make the situation worse because now they will start withdrawing and they will stop reporting to you. So your job as a parent, right, is to it is to have a very comprehensive civil conversation indicating to them that what you did or what you guys did, all right, was wrong, but here is how you can improve on it. these are the things that you should have done, or these are the things you will need to do next time should it occur again. This is how you need to protect yourself. And I'm always here if you need me. Right? Make yourself available as a parent. And once you do that, you have actually established a very strong and unbreakable bond with your children. And this is important because we all understand that the world is competitive and very nasty. Anybody, anybody has a very nasty intention toward everybody, right? Toward your kids, toward yourself, your wife, or a friend, or anybody that is connected to you. Okay? So it's a game of I want to win. It's a game of I want to be at the advantage side. It's the game of I want to gain an edge. So your kid, they can be tricked because of them being naive to the world and the maneuvers that people do, right? And then because they don't have, much experience as you are as a parent, because you are the parents and you are the adult and you have lived a certain amount of years, and with those years you had experiences that your teenagers or your children don't have, so you don't expect them to act like you don't expect them to ultimately act responsibly. The saying goes, kids are kids, so they will be kids. So it is your job to make sure that you have that dialogue with them. It's important to indicate to them that any time that they want your assistance, you are there for them, that you are willing to sit down with them and have a conversation with them. You don't need to to blame them. You don't need to finger point. All right. So these are the advice, and these are the reason why I felt like I should come um, in the front of the camera to help you with this few advice. And if you integrate them into your existing principle, I think they will help. Um, if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe, comment in the comment section below. Stay positive, stay tuned. Let's go.